My name's RefugeeSupportwAlisonHoeman. We're going to talk today about Des Moines Refugee Support. It started in 2016. I was an ELL teacher in Des Moines for 7 years, and so at that time I was an ELL teacher, and I had one family that was going to come to my school. They had just arrived from the Congo. My teachers were very nervous about how this was all going to go down, and so I got to know the family a little bit, and then of course at the last minute, like always happens with refugees, they moved. And they moved out of our area. Kids won't be at our school, but do you need anything? Because it was Christmas time, and she was like, yeah, we need everything. Asked for some donations, and I got so many donations that I asked one of the interpreters to give me some addresses of some other families that maybe needed some support at Christmas time. So he gave me 10 other addresses. So the day after Christmas, we filled up 3 minivans, and we drove all over town, and at each one of our 11 stops, we pulled out bins and everything, and we said, okay, everybody take 5 books and take some toys and take a winter coat and find a pair of boots that fits you and take some sweaters and some hoodies and some pants, and then whatever was left, we packed it up and we took it to the next house. And so that is kind of how this all started. From there, it has just absolutely exploded. A year ago, when Afghans started arriving in Des Moines, is when this really turned into a really big deal where we felt like we were doing a lot more than just like, hey, do you need some clothes? Because we were getting calls about people that didn't have food. Oh my goodness, we need to make sure that everybody in our city is fed, as these refugees are showing up. With the Afghans, they've now been here for a year, and there's quite a few of them that are still struggling quite a bit. This is also the time when they now all have to do all of this immigration stuff so that they can stay here. It's a lot of things that you and I don't think about, but when you start a brand new life, you have to do everything. You have to get a driver's license, and you have to find a place to live, and just so many things that they have to do it just all at once. At first it was like my mom and anybody that friends that they kind of heard about what I was doing. And of course my husband, we get so much stuff from Drake. Drake has been huge, right? And a lot of those kids live right in the Drake neighborhood. And so it's kind of a perfect way to just kind of bring it all together. They just saw it on our Facebook page, and they were like, yeah, I want to come volunteer. We have a really good core group of people that I have them on text message, and I can, send a text to the group, and somebody in that group will be like, yep, I'll do it, no problem.
So who were your volunteers initially?
It was a lot of ELL teachers and a lot of other teachers in Des Moines Public Schools, because they were the other people that I knew. They were also the other people who saw the need as it was happening, right? So I was able to be like, hey, so are you guys seeing the same things in your school that I'm seeing in my school? Is that there's just kids that are just falling through the cracks because they aren't able to access the services. Maybe the services are there, but they don't have transportation to get to the services. I had a lot of people be like, yes, I am seeing that as well. Let's figure out how to do this. In the past year, we've had a lot of the Afghans, which that's been completely different than any other group that's shown up here, right? We have a lot of Syrians that showed up around 2016, a lot of Congolese, and then other African countries right there, so like Rwanda and Burundi, quite a few Burmese and Karen. When we have a specific event coming up, I make a sign-up genius, and so we'll put that up on the Facebook page. Here you go. Here's all the choices of, what job do you want to do, or when can you do it, where can you be at a certain place, and people can just sign up. And then sign-up genius is awesome because then I have everyone's email, right? And then I can just blast it out and be like, all right, make sure you're doing this at this time, and we'll be ready to go. Same thing when we do the back to school free store, which requires 200 volunteers, and the spring free store that requires about 100 volunteers. Put it out and see who jumps on it. Because of Governor Ray, Iowa definitely very much has a culture of yep, we accept refugees. No matter who's in the governor's seat, we accept refugees. It definitely feels like there's been a lot less of hey, we welcome refugees, and here's what we're going to do to make sure that they succeed. That feels like that second part of it is kind of missing. In the 70s, they got 2 years of support where, somebody was always helping them do this, that, or the other thing. And now it's 3 months and you're on your own. Good luck. And the thing is in a place like Des Moines, maybe they taught you how to use the bus, but you can't get everywhere you need to go on the bus in Des Moines, Iowa. Like, you just can't, right? And so that means that if you're really going to be able to, get a good job, that you have to be able to drive there, which means that in 3 months you have to have enough English to go pass a driving test, and get a driver's license, and then you have to have saved enough money to buy a car in 3 months. Like, it's insane. Here at Des Moines Refugee Support, we need bodies, we need funds, and we need in-kind donations. And we've got a Facebook page where you can find all the information that you need about those things. You can sign up to volunteer for our different events. You can send us any amount of monetary donations, and it will go towards whatever you would specify that you would like it to go towards. We also always put up what in-kind donations we need and where exactly we need them. If you want to volunteer, there's lots of opportunities to volunteer. You just have to go find them on the Facebook page, or you have to send me an email and say, hey, what's coming up next? And I will let you know.
Great.